Hey guys, it's me, Mario, and today is the second video of today. We're going to continue Krabb, Master of the Sea. Chapter 5, In the Search of a Key. They waited out until they were waist deep, and Tom worriedly watched the water for any sign of Krabb. Ugh, bad. He saw the floating boy's eyelids flutter. "He's alive," Tom said. "Come on, let's get him onto shore." Tom locked his arms under the boy's armpits, and Elena lifted his legs. Once they were back on the beach, they pulled off the boy's wet shirts to look for any injuries. There was nothing on his chest, but when they turned him over, they spotted a strange raised bruise on his lower back. It looked like a huge green insect bit him. Tom took the magical talon from his shield, a gift from his old friend, Epos the Flamebird. It could quickly heal injuries like cuts and bruises. He held the talon over the boy's wound, but nothing happened. "It must be poison," said Elena. We know the talon can't cure that. Do you think it was Krabb? Tom finished her question, remembering the green tips of one of the beast's claws. No doubt. As they turned the boy onto his back again, his chest rose and fell steadily, and Tom hoped he would soon regain consciousness. Here's Tom and Elena helping the boy out of the water. Doing a video. Sorry. As they turned the boy onto his back, blah 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 blah. Stealthily, and Tom hoped he would soon regain consciousness. Silver sniffed along the boy's body, then looked up at Tom and Elena and whimpered with concern. "Did Elderu put any herbs in Storm's saddlebag?" Tom asked Elena. Well, as he went to look, Tom lifted the boy's eyelids. His pupils were wide and unfocused. "Nothing," said Elena, striding back towards him. Suddenly she stopped and pointed at Tom's chest. "The amulet." Tom looked down and saw that the amulet, which hung around his neck, was glowing. He took it off and held it in his palm, map side up. The map magically spread out from the center. Along one edge, a miniature green sea lapped at the coast. A black crab-like shape stood above the waves offshore, and the word Krabb was spelled out beside it. In the other direction, a red line stretched inland from their location, snaking through the line of trees and into the lush green woodland beyond. "I think the amulet wants me to follow the red line," said Tom. Wait. Flipping it back over, he looked at his friend. But you need to stay here with the boy. When he wakes up, he might not know where he is. But it could be dangerous, said Elena. Teledon said we could trust the map. Tom told her. You stay here with Silver. I'll take Storm and see what lies inland. Hopefully there'll be something to help us free Krabb from Valmel's enchantment. Elena nodded. Be careful. Tom swung up onto Storm's saddle and guided the stallion into the trees. Vines hung from branches, and fruits of all colors and sizes grew in clusters among the foliage. Fern leaves 10 times as big as Tom sprouted from the forest floor, which was carpeted in dark green, spongy moss. Tom checked the map again and saw that the red line extended further still into the forest depths. Something moved behind a tree ahead. Tom tugged at Storm's reins to bring his stallion to a halt. Add. He drew his sword and pulled his shield in onto his arm as a misty shape flittered between the trunks. Tom breathed a sigh of relief as he recognized the form coming towards him. It was Eldaru. He frowned as the wizard's outline flickered in and out of sight. I must be quick, Tom, Eldaru said. My magic isn't strong this far from Eventia. I'm glad you're here. I'm following the map, but I'm not sure where it's trying to lead me, Tom said urgently. Trust the amulet always. Always trust the amulet, said Eldaru. His image flickered again. It will lead you to the 6p prizes that will help you free the beasts. Tom had the strain to hear the wizard's voice. What are these prizes? He asked. They once belonged to the mistress of the beasts, said Eldaru. Valmel has scattered them throughout Wilder. Only with the help of the prizes can you free the beasts. But Eldaru vanished before Tom could ask any more questions. He was alone in the forest once more, but with the wizard's guidance he felt much more confident about his quest. Tom checked the amulet's map again and galloped onwards. He didn't want to leave Elena alone for too long. Soon the red line came to an end, and Tom climbed off Storm's back. He was standing beside a tree so tall he could barely see the top of it. It was so thick that half a dozen men couldn't even be able to circle around its trunk. Could this be where he'd find one of the mistress's prizes? Tom laid his hand against the bark. It felt just like any other tree. Storm snorted and pawed the ground at the base of the trunk with his front hooves. What is it, boy? Tom asked. He went to the spot where his stallion was churning up the earth. Storm tossed his head at the trunk. Tom saw nothing. Tom saw something, and leant close to the tree. There was a glimmer through a split in the bark. What's this? He murmured. To him. Storm tossed his head at the... What is it, boy? Tom asked. He went to the spot where his stallion was churning up the earth. Storm tossed his head at the trunk. Tom saw something and leaned close to the tree. There was a glimmer through a split in the bark. What's that? What's this? He murmured to himself, taking his sword. He edged the point into the narrow crack and prized it open further. The glimmer became a glow, like silver. Tom gripped the broken bark with his hand and pulled as hard as he could. With a crack, the wood splintered away, and a round object dropped into Tom's hand. It was one of the most beautiful things he'd ever come across. A shining pearl. He'd seen pearls before. Eventian fishermen sometimes found them. But this was different. It was as big as an apple. And as he turned it over in his hand, inspecting its smooth, flawless surface, Tom felt a curious, powerful feeling spread through his body. This must be one of Freya's prizes, he murmured. The amulet had worked. It had led him to a weapon against Melville's magic. As he slid the pearl carefully into his pocket, the feeling of power diminished, as though it was the pearl's contact with his skin that created it. He set off as quickly as possible to the beach. He didn't know how the pearl would help to free Krabb, but he felt his confidence growing. Well, there's blood in my veins, he said it to Storm, raising up in the saddle as they galloped across the sand. No beast will remain prisoned to I messed that line up. No beast will remain Melville's prisoner. And here's Tom holding the pearl that will help him free Krabb. That was chapter 5. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed chapter 5. And I also hope you subscribe and join this amazing group on my YouTube channel. We are literally one subscriber to 100, which is exciting. I'm so excited to reach 100. But anyway, hope you like, subscribe, and hit the bell if you guys are interested in more Beast Quest videos. Right. See y'all in the next video, whenever that is going to be. Hopefully soon, but not guaranteed. Depends on my mood. I made 2 videos today. Depends on my mood and what I am feeling up to. So, see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.